10 things that bring me joy. Welcome to the Hopefulist with me, Wendy McClure. This is where we turn those nasty, negative thoughts into positive and work toward a happy, fulfilled life. Now, let's get started. Let's get started on bringing some more joy into our life. How will that sound? Yeah, let's do it. I thought maybe I'd do something a little fun. Maybe just share a couple of things that I do as often as possible to bring more joy, to bring more happiness into my life. It really, truly is the little things that make up your life. So it's the little things that make up the happiness in your life. So I'm going to start with the quote of the day, which comes from Aristotle. He's just, he's that old dude that has all that wisdom. He said that happiness is a state of activity. And I think that's one of the things that we have so wrong about happiness is we think that we're just going to find it one day. We're just going to happen upon it when we get that job, when we get that great relationship, when we lose those few pounds. There's all of these situations and these goals that we set that we think that once we get there, that's when I'll be happy. It's not how it works. It's not how it works. You have to find happiness in the life that you currently have in order to create more of it. Now, granted, I know that there are a lot of people that have a lot of things in their life that are causing unhappiness, and that's why it's so important to find the little things to bring you happiness throughout your daily life. And that's why I wanted to create this list of things that I love, things that make my life better, to hopefully maybe help you along. And maybe it's something that you can incorporate into your life that will make your life just that tiniest bit, a little bit more happier. And once you find a little bit of happiness, that will spur you to look for more, to create more, to do more. And that is my hope for today. I wanted to ask you, if you are enjoying the Hopefulist, please share it with your friends. Post on social media, send a link of the podcast to a friend of yours, or share some of my posts on social media, and give me a review of the podcast on the platform that you are listening, whether it be Apple Podcasts, Spotify, what have you. That really helps a lot to get it out to a wider audience. So I would truly appreciate it if you could take the time to just do a quick little review. Nothing massive. You don't have to say that I'm the greatest thing that you've ever heard, even though I likely am. But you don't have to say that. Of course, I kid. You know that about me. I kid. So here we go. We are halfway through summer, and time, it is going way too fast for me. I don't know about you, but I hope you are getting the chance to enjoy it. But just in case you aren't, here are some of my favorite things that bring me happiness on a daily basis. Hopefully, if you don't have your own list, which you need to create right now, you can take a couple from mine and start to implement a little bit of joy each and every day. No, it is not impossible. It's not impossible to feel joy every single day. It's the little things, and that is what these are all about. Small things that improve my day or give me just a little bit of joy. A reminder of all the things I love about life. So are you ready? Here we go. Number 1, scented soap. Yes, I splurge on bath and body soaps. I used to just buy soft soap from the dollar store, but there really is such a difference. I typically wait until there is a sale. In fact, there was just their big 40% off sale last week. I stocked up. I bought enough to get free shipping, and it's usually a splurge at a time. I spent $50 on soap, which is a lot of money for soap, but they were, like I said, 40% off, and I got free shipping. But now I have soap for at least a year. And I guess $50 a year for hand soap isn't that terrible. Yes, I can certainly find soap that is cheaper, but I have my favorites that I use from Bath and Body Works. I have my seasonal favorites, and I got to tell you, it really does give me a pick-me-up when I wash my hands and they smell so freaking good. You know, all these like summery scents, you know, with the suntan lotion smell, and then at Christmas they have some really cool ones and some awesome ones for autumn as well. Pumpkin apple is a couple that I just stocked up on for the fall, and it's just a little pick-me-up. Number 2, the first cup of coffee in the morning. Now, this is something that we all typically enjoy, but most people just take it for granted. Try making it an experience. Find a spot to sit and enjoy. Make sure to really notice the taste. Hold the cup between both your hands and feel the warmth of the mug. Remember back when you were a kid, you thought drinking coffee was such a grown-up thing to do? Well, be a grown-up. Now we realize that being a grown-up, not nearly as great as we thought, but that's a story for another blog, another podcast. Number 3, writing in my gratitude journal. I've said it before, and I will keep saying it. This is the number one thing that changed my life for the better. Writing down 5 things every day that I am grateful for from the past 24 hours. It can be big things, it can be small things, but you cannot repeat things, I say, no more than once a week, because repeating would defeat the purpose. The idea is to start looking for things throughout your day to appreciate. And then you'll get to the point where you'll be like, oh, look at those flowers. Oh, I'm going to write that down in my gratitude journal later. This switches your focus from what you don't have to what you do have. Number 4, I play pickleball almost every day. You obviously don't have to play pickleball, but find something that you love to do. Since discovering this sport, I have found so much joy from taking part in it, which is why I play as often as possible. It has introduced me to so many people and forged new friendships in my life. Find something active that you like to do, and then do it as often as you can. Whether it's something you do alone or with others, whether it is active or social, there are many benefits to both. Number 5, lighting scented candles at night while I relax. The candle itself gives off a warm glow. Sometimes I just like to stare at it. It's kind of like a little itty-bitty fire. And I pick some amazing scents. My favorite, gardenia. I have loved gardenia for many, many years since my sister sent me a gardenia home interiors candle way back in the 90s. Remember home interiors? Yes. Now I prefer Yankee candles, which, yes, they are pricey. But I usually buy them at Kohl's, which often has sales up to 25% off. Another trick that I use to save money on Yankee candles is when I go to Kohl's and I get Kohl's cash, I save those for purchases, specifically like candles. So it's like getting them for free. So keep that in mind. I am a bargain shopper, and I will pass along my hints to you. Number 6, noticing the sky at sunrise and sunset. I also love to check out a full moon and see the sky full of stars. Now, I'm lucky to live very close to the beach, so I can watch the sun come up over the water whenever I want. I don't do it often enough, but it's quite often the sky itself is lit up with pink and orange. This goes for both the sunrise and the sunset, so just stop. Just look up once in a while. Take notice and appreciate the moment. We often vacation in the Outer Banks of North Carolina. Now, that is one place that I love to do some stargazing. I have never seen so many stars in the sky as I do while visiting there. The last time we were there, I was thrilled to hear there was a meteor shower, and I got to see quite a few shooting stars. Now, if you know anything about me, you know that I am a early to bed, early to rise kind of person. And typically that's the same on vacation. I probably stay up a little later than usual, but to get the full appreciation of the stars and all the gloriousness that takes place in the sky, I do usually set an alarm so that I can get up when it's still dark out so I can see it in the morning rather than at night. It's a great way to start the day. It really is. Number 7, appreciate the house, the home that you live in. Now, I happen to love where I live. I am very lucky. I love the location. I love our house. I love the new kitchen we just had installed. I love how I have my home decorated. And at least once a day, I remind myself of how much I love it. I'll be walking down the hallway and I'll just see, but walking into my bedroom, head into the bathroom, and I was like, you know what? I just love my house. I know not all of us love everything about our home, but focus on what you do. Focus on how much you love, how cozy it is, or how the bedroom is a perfect nest for when you want to get some sleep. Number 8, that leads me right to the next thing. I take a moment each night when I get into bed, all settled under the covers and my pillow's placed exactly right under my head, to sink in. And I literally say, it's so comfortable. And I just savor the moment. Now, I usually read for a while before I go to sleep, so I'm all comfy on my back while I get a few pages in. Then when I'm ready to sleep, I put my book down, I turn over, and I lay on my side or my stomach, and that is oh so comfortable too. Just remind yourself how lucky you are to have a great bed, hopefully, with all the luxurious linens and covers. And if you think about it, we're so lucky in this country that we have such a lovely place to lay our head every night. There are so many in this world that sleep in huts or in the street or in a ditch. Don't take your comfort for granted. Number 9, I play with my dog. My dog is my baby. She is nearly 16 years old and luckily still quite spry. She still loves to chase a ball. And every time I don't feel like it, because, she just doesn't play right. She doesn't, she chases the ball, but she doesn't bring it back. She never got the bring back part of fetch. So I end up having to chase her all over the house in order to play with her. But every time I don't feel like doing it, I remind myself how we may not have that much time left together and how much joy it brings her, which in turn brings me joy. I give her snuggles and kisses often, and I love to watch her snore. Let me tell you, her snores get louder every single day. Now, she is just the greatest little creature, and I try to savor all the moments I have left with her. Number 10, are you ready for the last one? I read all the time. I love books. It's so great to always have something to go to when I'm feeling bored, and it's always there, just waiting for me. Right where I left off. That's what I love about a book. It just waits for you. My favorite days are when I can spend the day soaking up the sun with a good book. It's great to escape into the life of someone else. Now, I read mostly novels, but some memoirs and a lot of personal growth books. I'm in several book clubs, which is great because so many people interpret things in a different way, and it leads to a lively conversation. The best thing about reading, it's cheap or free and always available. I very rarely buy books anymore. I have been going to the library for years. They have apps now where you can get your Kindle books through the library, and it's just the way to go. I mean, how often do you really reread a book? If I do find a book that I absolutely fall in love with, I will order a hard copy of it to keep in my bookcase. So there are just a couple of things I love to do. So hopefully you picked up on something that you can use in your life. And when you find something that you love, do it as often as you can. Anytime you get a chance to bring a little joy into your life, you are obligated to take it. That's right, I'm saying you are obligated to bring that joy into your life as often as possible. If you think you could benefit from some one-on-one coaching to help you find more happiness every day, please visit my website at hopefulist.com and click on training. There are a number of different programs to choose from, and I would love to help you create a life that you love. So go on out there and enjoy summer before it's over. And be badass this week. As you know, I'm here cheering you on. Thank you for listening to The Hopefulist. Now, don't you feel good? Make sure you come back next week. See you then.